Welcome to Interest of the Week. Sunny had a very interesting slate because he said that this was the slate, but I'm just gonna go with it. Today I'm in a bad mood because I just lost a thumb war a few seconds ago.
She's very bad at it. I'm just amazing.
I've never done a thumb war before
You
that.
haven't done it with
I
thumb
mean,
war?
I think I might have done them a little bit as a kid, but
You
never.
had
I've never
siblings,
actually
didn't you?
completed one. Yeah, I had an older brother, but I don't think we ever did a thumb war. We just did like
Wrestling?
an all-out war.
Yeah, you got the thumb war leads the all-out war every single time I find.
Oh, so we have to fight now.
Yeah, we have to throw down as hard as we can.
Let's wait till after the podcast.
That's fair. Okay. Well, the thing
oh.
is, you're gonna become a ghost if you fight.
If I tangle with you.
If you tango with me. I could have made that sound so cool instead. Yeah, here
but
I am.
I had to give it the line.
You had to give me the line.
So if you couldn't tell by that subtle hint,
Subtle.
It wasn't. This episode is going to be about ghosts because
Spooky.
I think ghosts are really cool. Yeah. So we're gonna start talking about ghosts. Just give me a quick startup because I need to look something up maybe. But it's okay. Just an essay that I'm gonna talk about.
Oh yeah.
But
very
other
good
than that,
essay.
yeah. So.
Um, so I think that ghosts are real. I'm gonna start with that. I believe in them very strongly. It's something that I'm like, oh yeah, ghosts legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think ghosts are real too?
That's something that I'm gonna get into a little bit later. But yeah, I do. But I also don't. Ghosts are ghosts, and that's just all there. Let me fix that mic. I just like.
Okay, let's go for a few quiet for a few seconds so we can cut it out when it's time. Unless you want to just do this through.
Cut what out when it's time? Oh, we're good. No, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Yeah. This is just a little awkward because I'm just like tossing my shit everywhere.
Not
my shit. Just a book. It's just a book.
Oh, yes, she's throwing fecal matter all over the room.
College is gonna get me kicked out.
There is a camera in here, so
there is.
Yeah, right there.
Hey. They probably see me do some weird stuff in here. No, I'm kidding. Don't do it. Sonny's giving me a weird look. No, I wouldn't do anything weird without a camera.
I'm gonna murder you, I think.
So I
think
will be a ghost.
You will be the ghost. Yeah. So there's different types of ghosts, obviously.
And the first type of ghost is a poltergeist, which literally translates to noisy ghost. And that is probably, if I were a ghost, that would definitely be the kind that I am.
Aren't poltergeists like evil? Poltergeist?
They're just kind of pesty, I would say.
I mean, like, some might be a little more pesty than others.
Oh, but yeah, they are definitely evil. But like, they're really annoying. Remember we talked last time about assholes. I have a thing for just jerks.
Just the biggest fucking assholes in the world.
I relate to them a lot.
Oh, are you an asshole?
I am the nicest asshole you'll ever meet. I'm a jerk, but like, I will never actually intentionally hurt somebody.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah, but I am a jerk.
What was I thinking? I think poltergeists are probably the scariest ghosts. Don't do that motion at me.
I was like trying to read your mind.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not gonna click those handles again.
Yeah, don't do that. There are two different types of ghosts. There's evil and good. Well, not really. The line's really blurred because ghosts are like,
dead.
They're dead.
They're kind of like people.
They're kind of like people. A ghost can be evil or a ghost can be good. And it's like, depends. A evil ghost is pretty much a poltergeist, and a good ghost is whatever the fucking orb is.
Well, poltergeists, people can't really decide on what they are. So a lot of people are like, yeah, these are the spirits of the dead, but other people are like, they are unknown energy or they're emotional stress. So if someone's really stressed out, they could be using some weird psychic energy to like...
We should define ghost.
Usually a dead spirit. I have a ghost definition in my essay, actually. I wrote an essay on ghosts last semester, and I really enjoy it. So it's basically the continued existence after death.
Okay, so like me having a mental breakdown and like everything goes shit like Carrie, it's not a ghost.
No, but it could be a poltergeist according to some people. So, according to some people, poltergeists can just be emotional stress, and they're not actually the spirit of a dead person. They're just, you're under so much stress that your mental energy can't be contained to just your physical body. Yeah, and that also ties into, like, because poltergeists are usually attached to an individual. I watched a video last night about poltergeists, one in Germany, and the first half of the video was about all the things the poltergeist was doing, and the second half was her boss complaining about how she is just pranking them the whole time. I really don't think she was, though. I think they would have noticed.
You know the McElroy brothers?
I
have I not shown you any of their videos because they're really funny. They'd go on a ghost tour, and it's just them being the dumbest pieces of shit on the planet, and it's like one of my favorite videos, I think.
What else do you do on a ghost tour? I am an interesting person on ghost tours.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like them. But they don't like me.
No? Why not?
Oh, we get into that later.
Well, why don't we go into it now? Where it's a hot topic of conversation.
Well, because I have so many stories about my ghost tours that we should cover what the ghosts are first.
Right. There's different types of ghosts.
Yeah, we're still on poltergeists.
What the
yeah,
fuck?
They prefer women. Relatable. And they start small, like just little things like shoving your pencil off the desk. And then they will go on to big things like dropping a lighted match in your basement. So, these are both things that people have recalled the poltergeist doing. So
okay.
And they usually last around 5 months, and then they're gone, which is another reason why it could just be stress or unknown energy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought poltergeists were for everything.
They can be for some, but most of the time it's just 5 months of it, and then it just disappears without anything.
I'm thinking about BuzzFeed Unsolved, and they have like entire segments of like going over ghosts and everything. I will show you some of the videos because God, they're good. The dynamic between Shane and
the other guy.
The other guy.
I don't know either of their names.
I know Shane.
I've just seen clips from them because the one guy's just
Goatman.
He's just yelling at all the ghosts and provoking
Shane.
them, and that's super relatable. The other guy's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, we're gonna die."
Yes, my favorite's when they do the light switch test, and like it actually turns off, and Shane's like ah, and the other guy, I'm so sorry, other guy, if you ever hear this podcast, I know you probably won't, but other guy, I'm so sorry.
We're gonna die.
And he goes, holy shit, and like you can see the panic in his face. It's great.
Oh my god. And then what is your other types of ghosts?
Another type of ghost is white lady, which is like a ghost of a woman, typically, who's dressed in white and kind of hangs out in rural areas or on highways and gets picked up and then, kills people. It happens.
Oh, do they always kill people,
Not
or
always.
Can they be friendly?
They can. They normally are pretty violent because they symbolize a loss of purity.
Ooh.
Yeah, they normally die in a sense of something bad.
Well, most people die. Oh wait, no, they don't. I was like, most people die in a bad way, but I was like, no, a lot of people just die of old age.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like a car accident, not murder. Car accidents suck, but like murder.
Yeah,
not murder.
I wonder how many I'm thinking about Beetlejuice now, and how Lydia and is that her name? No, Lydia's the teenage daughter.
You talk to me like I know pop culture.
How don't you know pop culture?
I live under a rock.
Okay, so for y'all at home, Beetlejuice. The wife and the husband, who are not the parents of the Lydia, but the adopted parents of Lydia by the end, because that's just how the movie happens, I guess.
Don't spoil it. I'm actually interested in watching Beetlejuice, but
how many times have we said Beetlejuice in this conversation?
Beetlejuice.
Fuck. Wait, we need to say I think 2 more times to make sure that he goes back into his grave.
Wait, what?
How many times have we said it?
Like 4 or 5?
Because we only say it 1 more time. So Beetlejuice.
Can we bring him back?
I don't want to bring him back.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice?
Fuck you.
Is it 3 times?
Yes, it's 3 times.
He can be a guest on the podcast.
He walks right in and he kills us both, and we're like, oh, I guess this is our podcast.
No, then we can't post it. Okay, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Go back to bed.
Anyways, there's an opposite to a white lady, and that's a lady in red. She's normally killed by jealousy, like in a jealous rage or something, or regularly as a prostitute of some kind. Both of them kind of exhibit opposite ends of the spectrum of, purity, which is a weird concept, but...
Yeah, purity is a weird concept.
Yeah, it's weird. But, like, that's what I found when I was Googling.
I kind of know what you mean. Like, there's 2 different kinds of, like...
So if you're a hoe, you become...
If you're a hoe, you're a red ghost. If you're not a hoe, you a white ghost.
That sounds awful. The worst thing we're ever going to say on this podcast, I swear.
Sunny's a red ghost.
The other day, I was talking
so you
with
come back in like a red tux.
Yeah, I'll be like, I did a cool pose.
I'll just be a poltergeist. I'll just throw like a chandelier across the room.
Okay, so if I was gonna come back as a ghost, I'd come back as just an orb to fuck with people.
Yes. Is that the next one on there?
I have no idea.
I'll just go over it. I'll just go over it. Oh, I think shapes versus forms. There's no difference.
None?
There's no evidence to even prove that. Like, there's nothing on it. I did some heavy research last night that I can't remember a lot of. I can only really remember what I typed down because it was really late at night.
You were up really late last night.
Yeah, I was actually doing schoolwork for most of it, and then I got carried away. Yeah, so the orbs, a lot of the things that I was just reading was, it's an issue with your camera. But I saw, like, this really horrifying image of a picture of, I think she's called the Brown Lady, but I'm serious. That's what they called her. But it was she's wearing a brown dress.
Brown Lady, it sounds like she died of shit.
I'll show you. Camera tricks. I was looking camera tricks for ghosts because it was, like, really interesting. Yeah, I can spell really well.
I'm so proud of you at everything you do.
Camera tricks that will help you summon a ghost. I believe this is where we're... Oh, no. Not that. But that's really cool. It was a really cool image.
Why don't you look up Brown Lady?
Oh, it's a video, and I'm going to stop it before we start. I could look up... I think maybe it's the Brown Duchess.
Now, see, the Brown Duchess sounds better than the Brown Lady.
It does.
Brown Lady sounds like you did a shit, and
Oh, that's a dog. That's really cute. Yeah, I guess I'll find that later. But it was a person just walking down the hall, and there's this really tall figure, and I don't know why it just really.
Is it like that
one
meme?
Hey, maybe it'll show up right here. The Intriguing History of Ghost Photography. It's the first image. So go to the BBC article for those of you at home who are listening. To BBC, The Intriguing History of Ghost Photography. That's the image. I hate it. It's the gray lady, but the room's brown, which is why I thought it was brown.
I'm gonna murder you.
I'll be a poltergeist and I will haunt you. Yeah, but look at this.
That's pretty freaky. It looks very fake.
It does, but it scared me because I was looking at it late at night, and it still freaks me out.
I feel like in the dark it would be 10 times scarier. Wait, is there a light switch? Give me a second.
Yeah, turn that light off. We're going to look at this in the dark. I suggest viewers at home do that. No, turn that back on. I don't know why. That image I really don't like the way that she's looking down at her. It's just not okay. But I don't know how they did it. I just don't like it. Just look at it for a moment.
You're valid.
Yeah, no, it's scary. Should be my profile picture.
My profile picture is a picture of me and like on Facebook, me and some leaves. It's a very nice picture of me, actually.
My Facebook profile picture is one from our storyboard, and I was really fed up, and so I'm I'm half glaring at the camera, but it's like a really up close of my face, And it looks good, but I'm like, my face is like sick of this bullshit. It's good. Anyway, demons.
Demons.
Are they ghosts?
Are they ghosts?
No. They're
Yes.
not.
They're a separate thing from ghosts.
Yes. They're fallen angels, like the devil. So.
Oh, that's hot.
What?
I don't know what else you want from me. That's hot.
I mean, hell's pretty hot. That one statue of Satan's pretty hot.
Which statue?
And then they replaced it with a hotter one.
Did they replace it with a hotter one?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're Googling again,
and now
guys.
we're Googling again. Hot Satan statue. I hope that nothing weird comes up.
No horny images on this podcast.
Yeah, so here's the original. And there's the new one. Damn.
They just were like, okay, how can we make the devil the hottest person alive?
And they did a very good job. Also, that pose. I like it a lot. It's very nice.
It's just that like level of Christian horny that like Christians just really get, you know?
I think it's just like old-timey. Everything is slightly erotic. Talked about it in Greek mythology. Erotica's everywhere.
Everything's horny. Everything.
Yeah, and nowadays if you draw that, they're like, better pay me $10. I'm kidding. They should definitely pay more than $10.
$10.
That,
okay,
so pretty.
guys. Announcement.
Artists deserve to be paid.
Thank you. If you're commissioning an artist, I would like you to pay more than $30 if they're spending more than an hour on it.
That's true. I once bought an art piece for $25, and the person said that they spent 22 hours on it, and they would not let me pay them more.
They wouldn't? What the fuck?
So I put $10 in the tip jar.
Yeah.
And then she was like, not happy with me. But it's so pretty. It's like a pencil drawn.
Can you take a picture and send it to me?
Yeah, I'll show you. It's
Okay.
really
Thank
good. It looks like a photo. It's really good. Anyway.
We are getting so distracted from ghosts today.
Yeah,
I don't think either of us are prepared for this ghost story today.
I'm never prepared for anything.
That's a lie. We were really prepared for Greek mythology.
Yeah, we were in it. Anyway, shapes. I did say they are indeed ghosts. Not sure what I meant, but I did write, could they be the ghosts of other creatures, perhaps?
Woof woof?
Yeah, I think people can see a ghost dog.
Yeah?
But, like, maybe like a ghost bird, because I haven't heard of someone hearing of a ghost bird. Maybe they come back as orbs. If there's an animal that no one has seen as a ghost.
I can't do a bird noise, guys.
Chirp. I can do a chicken.
Rock? Okay, that was way too loud.
Rip headphone users. Rip in rest.
Rip and rest.
I can be a chicken.
You can be a chicken. You
Yeah.
make a very good chicken. When I was in high school, not high school, middle school, we were
You had
gonna
middle
do.
school?
I was trying out for the school play. I was gonna be Little Red Riding Hood. I was so excited, and I got up on stage, and the line, I forget what it was, but the ending had me scream, and at the top of my lungs, I screamed, and they were like, "Oh, that was so good."
The only time I screamed on stage was in high school. We were doing this play, and not a play, but it was like choral speaking, where
Yeah.
you do the poems and stuff, and we said a haunting cry, and the person one of the things in the poem was a haunting cry, and the person pretended to rip my head back, and I
Ugh.
just screamed really loud. And during rehearsals, like that whole like month of working on that, my throat was just dead. But I was still able to scream because I forced myself to. Some of the times when we were rehearsing, I would be screaming, and the odd where we were practicing was like right next to the office, and like the principal or someone would come in and be like, "Is everything okay in here?" And we're like, "Yeah, I'm just screaming, you know."
Just being a little loud. Just a tad.
Sorry, man. Anyway, ghost tours.
Ghost tours.
The first one, Fort Henry. I guess I'll go first because I went to the Fort Henry one.
I've only been on one ghost tour.
So we'll change the order. I'll go first and last, and then you'll go.
Yeah, we'll sandwich me in there.
Yeah, so the Fort Henry one, really cool. I like ghost tours because I just like seeing the places at night and I like hearing ghost stories. They're really fun. One of the things that did happen on that tour was we were down by like where the schoolhouse area was, and the person was talking about something completely different, and the school bell went off. Um, they were saying stuff like, "I don't know why it's happening," but I hate that I'm so logical and went, "Well, the old school things didn't have batteries; they just had gears winding them up and stuff." And the gears are probably just starting to malfunction because it's old and we're in like a museum. So that's probably why it went off. But like I want to believe that it was ghosts, but deep down I know.
I get it.
Yeah.
I went to a ghost tour in Salem, Massachusetts. That's not the word or the name of the place.
Massachusetts? Is that it?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm not saying it again because I won't be able to do it.
You will say Massachusetts, won't you?
I've never heard that.
Okay, so when I was younger, when we went around like traveling around Canada and America a bunch, I like drove down. I drove down to like Salem a few times, at least twice, and each time we were like, okay, we're going to Salem, Masset, and every time we would not be able to say it, and so my mom goes, okay, kids, ready for this? Massive two shits, and we all stared at her, and we went, are we allowed to say that? And she goes, yeah, of course. So, and whenever we're referring to Massachusetts, no, Massachusetts. Massachusetts.
Why wouldn't they name it something that I can say?
Yeah, I know. This is their fault.
Can anyone say it?
It's like Kansas and Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Fuck.
I remember the first time I read that on a license plate when we were in the States, and I went, Arkansas? I thought it was called Kansas. And my dad's like, nah, that's another state. And I'm like, there's more than like, why are there so many states?
But anyways, I went on I think 2 ghost tours when I went to Salem, and both were a lot of fun. And my cousin got a chill down her spine and believed that a ghost touched her back.
Oh, interesting. That's why it says massive 2 shits.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Thing. No, I thought you were just gonna tell a story that had something to do with massive 2 shits, and I was like,
no, I just could not pronounce it or remember how to spell it.
It's like MASS and then a bunch of jumbly letters that.
I know how to spell Mississippi. MISSASSIPPI.
Everyone knows how to spell Mississippi.
I know. Can you spell it backwards?
Of course I
can't. Spell Mississippi then.
MISSISSIPPI. I can't spell it backwards though.
Hey, can you spell out iCup?
No. I'm illiterate now. My other one is I went to Carleton County Jail in Ottawa when in grade 8 on our tour of, how schools go to Ottawa. We went to Ottawa and we did a ghost tour. That was probably...
We went to Ottawa and we had a boat party, and my crush at the time pulled me to the side and we were dancing because we used to date and then we weren't dating and then we were just crushing on each other.
Nice.
And he told me that... Are you ready for what he told me?
No.
He told me that the reason why he wasn't talking to me for like the week before we broke up was because he had started having feelings for my best friend. And I was like, that's just something you tell me, dude. And that was the moment I realized I was polyamorous.
Grade 8. The good old times. The person I had a crush on at the time, or thought I had a crush on, it's a long story. We'll get into it in another podcast, I'm sure, because it ties into one of our podcast ideas in the list. But my crush at the time, he did not come to the Ottawa trip. He didn't go.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, he stayed at home. But on the Ottawa trip, we did Carleton County Jail, which my best friend Brad was there. Me and him get up to all sorts of mischief. I saw him like last weekend. I missed him so much. Anyway, back to Carleton County Jail. So we were there, and I feel like on the ghost tours, you won't see a real ghost, but people will definitely believe it after. They're more likely to believe that they'll see a ghost. I just don't think that I will. So when I went there, the air was really stale because it's an abandoned jail. It's like it's old.
It's gross.
Yeah, it's dank. um, and the person was talking, and my nose started bleeding because it does. And they started to get like all weird about it, and I was like, "It's a nosebleed. Why are we this dramatic?" And then later, she's telling a story about how like apparently when you disrespect the dead, your nose bleeds, and I'm just like, "What did I do, lady?" How did I disrespect the dead? I was so interested in everything that was there. I wasn't like, heck with you. I'm glad you got hung in the back stairwell.
To heck with you.
There was an ad for a show, and the guy just yells in it, "To hell with you!" And now me and my mom yell at each other because the way he said it was just so bad.
I understand. So why do people believe in ghosts?
Well, there's actually a bunch of reasons people believe in ghosts. I did an essay on it. So a lot of it has to do with, I think the best way would be like, I'll start with religion. So people who are religious do tend to be more likely to believe in ghosts, especially like among the Christian faith, because with Catholics and their demons, which are very close to ghosts. But if we're using this one guy named Broad, if we're using his definition of paranormal, then religion would be considered paranormal. So it's believing in something you can't see. You can feel it, which is kind of the same as ghosts, so you can apply that logic elsewhere. And there are also exorcisms and using priests to cleanse houses, so there's a very big tie there. Also, tradition and upbringing. If you are living in a house where everyone believes in ghosts, you're going to believe in ghosts too. That's just kind of how things work.
That is how things work.
Yeah.
My mom believes in ghosts. My sister believes in ghosts. My cousin believes in ghosts. My aunt believes in ghosts. I can go on.
I'm the only one that believes in ghosts in my family.
You're also the odd one out in so many ways.
Yeah. I'm the odd one out a lot. I'm so quirky. I'm not like other girls.
Hi, guys. Dana's going to be a ghost in 5 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2. Wait, I don't have anything to throw at you. I was gonna go poltergeist, but then I was like, wait. I'm not throwing this book at you because then the pages will fall out.
See? Dana's a coward, is what I'm getting from this.
I threw the book. I tossed it gently. Anyway, other spiritual phenomena. If people believe in other spiritual things, like believing in the afterlife, believing in souls, witches, things like that, they're going to believe in ghosts too, probably. It's also fun to believe in ghosts. In the Victorian era, people were obsessed with it. Do you have fun believing in ghosts?
I do have fun believing in ghosts.
I do too.
It's very silly sometimes because you're like, maybe it's not a ghost, but you know what? I'm going to say it is.
Yeah, I hate that side of me that's like, it's not a ghost. And I'm just like, but can it be? Please.
Oh, please, darling, please.
That'd be so nice. And also, there is a community of people that believe in ghosts.
Oh, yeah, it's like a big thing. Like, I know where I live, there's an entire committee of, like, ghost lookers.
Yeah, so, like, some people might believe in ghosts and just to be a part of the community. And that's fine, too. And there's a lot, because in 2009, about 42% of Americans believed in ghosts. 42% of ghosts believed in Americans as well. Also, one of the things I talked about was boredom.
If you're bored, you're gonna believe in ghosts. I'm not.
Yeah. As Peter Lamont says, human observation and memory are notoriously unreliable. So if you're sitting there bored and you're just waiting for something to happen, you're gonna see and hear things that maybe aren't there. And seeing something that could be a ghost, you're going to think that's more meaningful than if nothing were to happen at all.
Agreed.
And then these are like sort of like the more sad reasons people believe in
I don't
ghosts.
want to hear the sad reasons.
Loss of a loved one. when people lose a loved one or someone close to them, they are more likely to believe in ghosts, that their loved one has come back to talk to them, and it's very comforting to them. I am speaking all of this as if ghosts don't exist, but I literally have no proof one way or the other. Also, being alone, loneliness, comfort, and like just
I'm thinking about the Jack Frost movie where the guy is a snowman because he died in a car accident on the mountain, and then the Rock Slide by Sarah McLachlan plays.
oh my god,
It's a really sad
that
movie,
sounds very interesting.
but it's marketed as a child's movie because he does get turned into a snowman and hijinks ensue.
Interesting.
I actually kind of want to rewatch it now, just because.
I kind of want to watch it too. I'm also also one of the things that happens in this ghost thing with people are more likely to believe that a ghost that they've talked to is someone that they know rather than a complete stranger, or someone that's famous rather than just Joseph with the hatchet chopping down trees. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like whatever Paul Bunyan or something.
Yes.
And another one is fear. When people are really scared, any noise, any jump, like anything that makes them jump or scares them, they're going to be like, well, it's not something I could have seen coming. Ghost. And finally, some people can use ghosts as justification for an underlying mental disorder. So people could have psychosis or schizophrenia and think it's a ghost, or think that they're hearing things like that. But who knows? It could be a ghost.
Who knows?
No proof one way or the other. So that's sort of my spiel on why people might believe in ghosts.
Okay, now that doesn't matter anymore because now we're going to talk to the nitty gritty. Why do you believe in ghosts, Dana?
I'm going to get into that. Just 1 second. If any of you people you're forgetting, there is audience.
Okay.
So, audience. If any of you have reasons that you believe in ghosts or think of other reasons why someone might believe in ghosts, let us know. We have the comment section because I believe we're posting on YouTube.
We're just posting it on YouTube.
Yeah, maybe it'll go to Spotify one day, but
Not now.
not now. So yeah, post it in the comments. Also, why do I believe in ghosts? Well, I believe in them because I want to. I don't know.
Is the idea of ghosts just comforting to you?
I love the idea of ghosts. I've always been obsessed with it. When I was younger, I would convince people that our 15-year-old school was haunted. I read ghost stories and I was super into it, but I never found the ability to believe in them. I have had some weird incidences occur, which we will get into with our ghost stories. But all in all, like, there's a factual side of me that's like, that's not possible. But then something's happened that I can't explain. So I'm sort of on the fence of how I believe in ghosts. But I'm going to go with yes, because why not?
You want to?
Yep.
Okay.
I read tarot too, so like...
Tarot's really fun.
So, of course, I hang out in the spiritual world or whatever it is. It's interesting to me.
What, you should show me your tarot card deck soon.
I should. I will bring it.
I believe in ghosts, and what I have written on the notes that we take before we do a session, like a recording session, is because I'm baby, fuck you.
Relatable.
Exactly.
As in, fuck you. I'm kidding.
Okay. we're just really at each other's throats today.
I stayed up really late last night, so I'm aggressive.
I'm also really tired too.
I've become feral.
Both of us are feral, but like on different ends of the feral spectrum.
I'm just aggressive.
I was so close to just lying under the table while you were editing earlier.
You should have. I would not have cared. I was busy. Oh man, I just thought about dinner tonight. Ooh, I'm gonna enjoy some dinner. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either. Well, we are so distracted. Do you want to try and redo this?
No, we got this.
We've got this? Okay.
Yeah, no, we can do this. people are entertained by this for some reason.
Are they entertained by this?
I listen to podcasts and people ramble on and on about nonsense, and I'm still on board. I'm like, okay, this is cool, yeah.
Hey guys, we're talking about you right now.
Yeah. Do you watch for the Do you listen for the personality? Because that's why I listen. I just listen for the banter. Occasionally, there's some good stuff that comes in, like the ghost topic, and then you can hear bantering off of that. So end with ghost stories. I'll go first. So
this is just like a sleepover. Tell me about your crush.
So I have a crush on.
No, really, tell me.
I don't have a crush on anybody.
Oh, damn it.
Or maybe I do. Ooh.
You know who I have a crush on?
Me.
No.
Damn it. I'm kidding.
I was gonna say my partners, but
yeah, you should have a crush on them. That's kind of how that works.
Yeah.
Do they have a crush on you back?
Oh my god. I hope so.
I think they do.
Oh. You slay me.
I will slay you. Ghost time.
Ghost time, right, focusing.
Yeah, I was gonna slay you, that's why I said ghost time. But anyway, so the first story, so 3 of my stories take place this summer. So I did not really truly believe in ghosts. I was like, because I only had 1 incident before this summer. Everything else was kind of like, oh, it doesn't exist. That was just a one-off thing. But after this summer of working in a historical village, I have second thoughts. So there's an old farmhouse, and usually we're cooking on the wooden stoves, and it was a bit smoky upstairs. And there's a room with a lot of dolls in it. So what I would like to do is I would prank the person who was working in the house that day, because I'd be working at the barns. I would go upstairs and I would rearrange the dolls, because the dolls weren't artifact, they were reproduction, so we can move them around. So I would move around the order of them or have them staring at the door and weird things like that. And one day I went up to do that, and that house always feels really heavy and haunted anyway. It could be that the floor on the top floor is uneven, so you're disoriented a little bit, but it felt really heavy, like heavier than normal, and I looked in the fog. It wasn't out of the corner of my eye, it was a straight look into like the smog, and I saw the figure of a girl, and I just went, peace, I'm out, bye. Yeah, so that's that one. But yeah, that house, if it is haunted, it's definitely, I think a playful ghost.
Okay.
So not a problem.
That's good. So both of my ghost stories happened when I was a wee lad of like 6.
A wee lad of 6.
Because that's when I lived on that one street that I'm not going to say the name of, because then people can creep on me.
But you don't live there anymore? Don't say the street.
I'm not going to say the street. Anyways, so the first one is, every now and then when we were cleaning the room, there'd be shadows just running back and forth across, like, the thing, or they'd stand and stare at us through, like, the window. It was terrifying.
Oh my god. That's
so, like,
no.
it could have been, like, an actual person, like, with a light behind them and everything, but, like...
That's almost worse.
Yeah, I like thinking it's ghosts.
Yeah, let's go with ghosts on that one. Were they like children or adults?
Adults.
Adults. And
like, they're big.
There'd be more than one?
And there was more than one. And it happened more than once, so.
Ooh, it's a little... Were you living in an old house? Or...
Yeah.
Oh, that explains things. I feel like a new house could only be haunted by like a poltergeist.
Yes.
Because they follow the person, not the building. My next story is actually 2 stories that I've placed in one. I've called it Footsteps at House that I'm not saying. Because it will definitely give away exactly where I work. I haven't said, I just said historical village. But in this house, it's a very peaceful family that lived there due to their religious beliefs. But not getting into that because that'll give it away. So going up, like, I was sitting in, like, there's more than one kitchen, so I was sitting in the younger family's summer kitchen. No, I was sitting in their winter kitchen, and it was It was a calm day, no visitors, and I heard some footsteps upstairs. And at first I thought it was a visitor, but then I went, there's not a single visitor in this house. And so I jokingly called out because, like, I didn't really believe in ghosts. I thought it was all a joke. And I was just like, hey, can you please stop walking around up there, Mr. Ghost? You're scaring me. The footsteps stopped. I was just went, thank you. But, and then a few seconds later I went, oh no. Oh, what happened?
Oh no.
So it was kind of like a, oh geez moment. And that same house, not the same day though, I was in the younger family's sitting room because it's split into like the grandparents and the younger family.
Yeah.
And I heard the door open in another room. And so I started to walk that way. And I saw the door that I had heard, and no one had walked in. And I walked in to the edge of the door, and then I heard footsteps in the room that I was in. And I turned around, and there was no one there. And the footsteps kept going. Like, I could hear them, but you can, you know, when you can, like, hear exactly where they're stepping down on the floor? They went right past me and right through the door. And there was no one there. So I was kind of just like, okay. Guess we're gonna go with that. I guess I'm not working here alone. I've got my trusty new coworker who has probably not said a single thing to the guests. But you know what? I wouldn't either if I wasn't getting paid. Yeah, that's
that is fair. Okay, you ready for some story time?
Yes.
Okay, so
we were rubbing our hands together.
Yes. It was the middle of the night.
Yes.
I was living with my cousin Brooklyn, my sister Kara, and myself. Well, you know, there was also the adults of the house, but we were babies.
Yeah, but they're the adults.
Yes,
they're not
it doesn't matter. Anyways, so Brooklyn gets up in the middle of the night. She goes to the bathroom. She comes back and she goes, Sonny, I need your help. And I go, I am half asleep, what's shaken? She leads me to the bathroom. And I'm in there. And you want to know what's happening in there?
Bloody Mary.
No. Absolutely everything's a mess. The toilet paper's being slammed down like a cat trying to, you know, put it down. The toilet keeps flushing itself. The sink's turning on and off. The shower's turning on and off. The shower curtain's pulling and opening itself.
Oh.
The cabinets are opening and closing themselves. There's towels getting flung around the room.
Oh, no.
It's insane. And both me and Brooklyn look at each other, and we run back into our room, and we wake up Kara. And Kara goes, what?
What?
And we go, there's a ghost in our bathroom. And she goes, no. And so we show her. And she goes, well, I just peed myself.
Well, she could have used the toilet. It's constantly flushing.
It wasn't involved in entering the bathroom. Anyways, we all decide to sit and watch, I think it was Pokemon, until 4 a.m., until when our cousin Christy came up, who was also living with us. This is an older cousin, not a younger cousin. And she goes, why the fuck are you guys awake? And we look at her and go, there's a ghost in the bathroom. And she goes, go the fuck to sleep. And so we did.
And so we did. I love how children just have the ability to, oh, okay. They forget. It's gone. And then you wake up the next morning, you're like, whoa, what happened last night?
What?
And my last one, this is the one that I thought was a one-off, but it's definitely the most convincing one I have, I would think. So I was in the hospital for a while as a teenager, and I was really sick, and I was in bed. Not sick enough that, like, I was hallucinating or anything, because I know this was not a hallucination or anything. I was not on medication at the time. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was a man at the foot of my bed, which, I was in an area that you had to have, like, permission to get into. Like,
yes.
It was hard to get into that area of the building. And this man was at the foot of my bed, and I don't remember what he was wearing. I don't remember his face. I just remember what he said. He was, like, completely broken, and he was like, please, tell them I'm sorry. I just couldn't do it anymore, or something along those lines. And I was just like, bro, what? And I panicked, obviously, and I had sat up in bed when I saw him there, and then I just like ducked under the covers because everyone's thoughts
You cannot be hurt by a monster or ghost if you're under the covers.
Yeah, if you're under the covers, you're fine. And then a few seconds later, I heard that there was a code blue in the ICU, which I forget what floor it was on, but it was the floor that the ICU was on. I think it was like floor 2, and we were on floor 1 or something like that. And I went, oh, code blue is a heart attack. That means, not a heart attack. It means someone's heart has stopped beating. And I sat up, and the person was gone. They weren't there anymore. And I didn't hear them walk out of the room or anything. They were just gone. And then quite shortly afterward, probably like 10 minutes maybe,
I have to walk home.
the code blue was resolved.
In the dark.
Yeah.
I'm spooked.
Yeah, so the code blue was resolved quickly, which usually means that they didn't make it, is my guess. So I think I witnessed somebody's last moments.
That's scary as fuck.
Yeah. So that's like my most compelling story of why and that's why I would not tell you it before the podcast.
I am spooked out of my goddamn mind.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah. You know what? To relieve this tension, what kind of street does a ghost prefer to live on?
I'm not done.
Oh, God, fuck.
This is just like your story with the bathroom. Guess who went back to sleep? I did. So the person disappears from my room.
Yes.
Code blue is resolved. And I'm just like, seems like a perfect time to go back to sleep. Yeah. And now, what kind of street does a ghost live on? Okay. Jeez, I don't know.
A dead end.
Of course they do. I'm gonna ghost you after this podcast.
No. I don't deserve this treatment. I'm perfect.
You're perfect, eh? Wow, look at this. It's been an hour. What is the thing that we're supposed to say at the end?
Well, if you want us to talk to us, you can either email us at interestoftheweek@gmail.com or write in the comments below.
You can ask us questions. We will answer them.
We're desperate.
Yeah, we're desperate. We will also take suggestions of something you would like us to talk about. We cannot guarantee we'll talk about it, but we may bring it up even if it's a bad idea. We might just bring it up if it's not something that we can talk about, but yeah. We forgot to say who we were. I'm Dana. My pronouns are she and they.
I'm Sunny Miles. My pronouns are he, him.
And this was Interest of the Week. WEAK. So with the email, it's Interest of the Week, WEAK spelling, @gmail.com. And we will see you next month.
Peace.